Hi. If you're new to teaching chemistry, or maybe you have been teaching chemistry and are just looking for some new ideas, I hope you get something out of this video. This is part of my series about how to teach high school chemistry, just ideas I put together through the years. I'm going to retire in the not too distant future, and either I make these videos now or they never happen. So let's take a look. I hope you get something out of it. As with any demo lab you do with the kids activity, you always want to try them first. I know time is precious, especially though when you're dealing with the energy unit. You might be dealing with burning things, the Bunsen burners, exothermic, endothermic reactions. Make sure you try them first. Don't do demonstrations you are not comfortable with. End of story. I wouldn't do it. I would avoid it. In their place, you could certainly use short YouTube video clips where somebody else has already done the demonstration. You can show the kids. And that goes along with the last comment here. Never have flammable liquids by open flames. I'm going to put a little link up to a short video I did. There was an accident in a high school chem lab recently in Virginia due to an open flame around methanol. Never a good idea. Do not recommend it. Always be careful. Safety is your number one concern for both the students and yourself. Here's my suggestions. Anytime that you're out and about, if there's a garage sale, a thrift store, a yard sale, sometimes you can pick up some cute stuff. Or people like myself, I'm getting ready to retire, pass it along. This first little thing, yes, it's Kermit in the box. This was actually a gift I had for my godson, who now is 25. At the time, obviously, he was little, and I wanted to send him something for Christmas. I got it in the mail, was going to turn around and package it with something else for his brother, and it had a dent in the box. I called the company, and they said, "We'll send a new one, and you can keep the old one." Well, what was I going to do with a Kermit in the box? I didn't have any kids at home. Oh, wait a minute. I can talk about it in chem class because we're dealing with potential energy versus kinetic energy. Obviously, good old Kermit has a spring inside. You push him down, you close the lid. And then, of course, when you play the song, that potential energy of the spring turns back into kinetic energy. The other picture I have here are toys where you have things climbing up on steps. You need batteries for this one, not for Kermit in the box. So my funny rolling penguins or the duck family, you put the batteries in, they climb up the stairs. When they get up to the top of the stairs, they have an increase in gravitational potential energy, and sure enough, they go rolling down the slide. So potential is changed into kinetic, and then the process starts all over again. I use this with my students to talk about the relationship or tie-in kinetic and potential energy because when we're doing heating curves, you can't see down at the molecular level what's going on. But certainly when we're dealing with big scale kinetic versus potential, at least it's not as much of a stretch. This was a garage sale item that I found years ago. This is called the Defrost Wonder. It's one of those defrosting trays. The first one that came out when I was a kid was called Miracle Thaw. They still sell these defrosting trays. This one, it was posted in the garage sale for $3. I got it down to $2, and it was a great $2 that I spent that I had then for the next 20 years. Of course, this is just a piece of aluminum that's Teflon coated, and you put a piece of ice on the pan versus on your lab table in front of the students. And lo and behold, it's not a wonder, it's not a miracle, but yes, the ice will melt quicker on the aluminum surface than it will on the lab desk. So when we're talking about specific heat capacity, I use this as an example. And these are things you store away in your energy box and you have them year in, year out. Another suggestion I have to contact companies that might have products, and these are two examples that have to do with energy. This first one, Hillside Coffee, what we're talking about here is hot coffee on the go. OnTek was the name of the company that made the technology, and then Hillside used it. I'm not sure if they're still around, but I did contact the company, and they were nice enough to send me samples. Here on the side of this cup, it explains the science. This one has to do with, you open up and you press on a button, the salt inside of the inner chamber mixes with water. It's exothermic, the dissolving of that salt, and it will heat up the coffee. And then when this little indicator down here turns pink, then you know it's hot enough to drink, and then you can open up the drink. This other one called Heater Meals, a meal on the go. Instead of course, a frozen dinner, here it is. It's in this little package. Doesn't have to be refrigerated, and you can heat it up. Technology here, you have a tray, a plastic tray inside. Let me move this over. And this is just like one of those heat packs maybe for your back when your back is bothering you. You have iron pellets here in this pack, and you have salt water. And literally what you're doing is you are rusting the iron. It's exothermic. Your meal in the little container, the meal sits on top of the iron and the water, and you put it back into the box and you heat it for, I don't know, a couple of minutes, and then you open it up and you have a hot dinner. That's the whole idea behind it. This being a chemical reaction, exothermic, and our OnTek or Hillside Coffee, a physical change. You see these items in the store, maybe you buy one or take a picture of it in the store and then email the company. The other thing that's pretty nice, I know for OnTek, the company here with the Hillside Coffee, you can find the video on YouTube that shows you the technology behind it as well. Once again, you have it for years to come. A couple other suggestions here. These blaster balls, believe it or not, they used to sell them in the Dollar Tree. They're made up of, it's got glass and potassium chlorate and sulfur on the coating of these, and you hit them together, and it sounds like one of those cap guns from when you were a kid. They don't sell them in the dollar store anymore. I don't think I've seen them recently, and I think it's because they're maybe a choking hazard. They are on Amazon. You might be able to find them. This was from Flynn Scientific. Literally what these are is two ball bearings, I believe from train wheels. This one, I'm just going to show you the video quick. With the aluminum wrapped around the one ball bearing, and then that hitting part of the rust on the other ball bearing, it causes an exothermic reaction. You see the spark, you can hear it. It is the thermite reaction on a small scale. These were all things that you can keep and you can use year after year. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you got an idea or two. Keep your eyes and ears open for opportunities that come your way. Leave comments below. What, if anything, you do for energy demos, especially ones you can use year to year, just pulling them out of the box.